Playing for a senior community is not like playing at a bar or a restaurant or a coffee shop or an open mic. In fact, it's a completely different kind of gig. And if you're not careful, you can make a few common mistakes. And in this video, I'm going to help you avoid all of them so that you keep your audience smiling and singing and engaged the whole way through. As a guitar player, there are a few tendencies that I notice that I have and mistakes that I've made in the past that I want to help you not to make. And the first mistake is staring at your guitar too much and looking down at your fretboard. We want to make sure that we've rehearsed the songs enough so that you can not only take your eyes off of the fretboard and look at the room, but actually smile back at your audience who's smiling at you. And as you're singing, kind of notice if they're singing with you or not singing with you. You can kind of get a pulse and a temperature of the whole room and notice how a song is landing, but you can't do that if you're staring at your fretboard the whole time. So try to look up once in a while, see if everybody's singing, or at least maybe looking at your general direction and just making sure that they're kind of with you as you're starting out your show. Mistake number 2 is avoiding looking at the room and observing the acoustics of the room. As a guitar player, we want to make sure that everything sounds good. As any musician, you want to make sure that everything sounds good, but the acoustics of the room really play a role in how you're going to sound. For example, are you inside when the ceiling is really low and the sound carries the back of the room and bounces off all the walls that could be closer together? Are you playing outside where you don't get anything bouncing off of anything and you have to maybe tune your volume up just a little bit more? Are the ceilings high? What kind of floor is it? Is it a carpet that's going to absorb a lot of the sound? You want to tweak up your mids a little bit and your highs a little bit? Is it a hardwood floor that is going to give you a lot of echo? You're kind of looking at all these different things that could be happening in the room. Pay attention to the acoustics and do a quick sound check and see how things are going to sound. And I think that's one of the things that can play a very important role. And if you're hesitant on adjusting anything on your amp or you're wondering how the acoustics are, go on the lower side. You can always adjust it and turn it up just a little bit more. Adjust those mids and lows and highs a little bit more and get a read of your audience. If they're doing this, you're too loud. Mistake number 3 is overusing effects and looping and bringing like a lot of different sounds to the show other than the instrument that you're playing. That could actually be a distraction if you have too much going on. Additionally, if you have a lot of effects pedals that you typically bring with you, you want to try to make sure obviously you don't trip over everything, but that's a lot for your audiences to look at and observe. And they're looking at these blinking lights and all the things that you're doing with your feet, which can be kind of cool, but can also, there's a balance that you have to find, whereas your audience can be entertained but not necessarily distracted by all the different effects and sounds. Sometimes you want the song to come through as clear as possible. I always err on the clean and crisp and clear side and try to put a lot of emphasis in the song's lyrics, sing as clearly as I can, play as clearly as I can, and not worry too much about effects or looping. Specifically at a senior community, they want to hear this song and they want to hear you. Mistake number 4 is fumbling with too much gear. Just bring one guitar, just bring one small amplifier. Bring a system of redundancies like an extra cable, some extra batteries, maybe an extra microphone. Don't overdo it. That's like I was saying with the effects pedals and the different loop stations. If you have too much going on, it can actually be a distraction, and you might have to spend extra time setting up for your show and lugging everything in for the show, which is kind of hard to keep the audience's attention when you have too much stuff, and they kind of want to see you get in there and start to playing as soon as they see you. So kind of avoid bringing too many things in for your show. Number 5, one common mistake that I want you to avoid is not adjusting to the proximity of the audience and the closeness to your audience. We may be used to standing up on a stage, and we may be used to playing to a huge audience, and we may not be used to sitting down and being right in front of them. And that can be a very, very important thing to consider. If you're playing the guitar and you're typically standing, I would encourage you to try sitting down. Most of your audience is going to be sitting down, and when you get your eye level with their eye level, it's a little bit easier to connect versus being up on a stage and then you're looking at everybody and they're looking more at the level at your knees or your shoes. It can be more of a distraction. Although I've played for both environments before, just kind of be aware for that and adjust to your audience. Sometimes they're sitting like almost like close enough that you can touch them with your feet if you stretch out your feet. Sometimes your audience, your seniors are really, really close to you. So kind of be mindful of that. Be mindful of the volume of your amplifier. Be mindful of how you're going to be moving around with your instrument. And your audience could be a little bit closer than you're expecting them to be. Number 6, overplaying instead of accompanying. And what I mean is don't be too showy. You may find yourself wanting to play like a really, really nice piece of music, and there's a lot of these different complications and different scales and different chords and things that could be overplaying, and you're looking down at your fretboard and you're making sure you're getting everything down. It could be a lot for your audience to absorb, although it could be incredibly awesome to listen to. We want to try focusing more on the accompanying, the song lyrics and the playing versus doing something overly complicated on your guitar. It can be more of a distraction than you think, and we really want to get the emphasis of the song and evoking the emotion and the feeling in our residents' hearts versus trying to impress them with how fast we can play or how complex a certain song can be, although there is a certain place for that too. If you find yourself being able to play and the song can be really complicated and you're able to also look at them and engage with them and smile with them and do that at the same time, then definitely go for it. But I always err on the side of simplicity. Number 7, play songs in different keys. Don't keep the capo always on the 3rd fret and saying, even though that might be your most comfortable vocal range. In your rehearsals, experiment with different keys and different songs, different speeds, mixing up a fast song and maybe a slower sentimental song and giving your act a little bit more of that variety. If you play in the same key the whole time, it might get a little bit bland. Your act might get a little bit stale. So try to include different keys for your chord progressions and also for your vocal range. Number 8, neglecting your guitar maintenance. I've had it in the past before where I've popped a string. And sometimes it's from strumming too hard, but sometimes it's because the strings are on their way out. And if you pop one string, it's usually like a lot of the strings are usually ready to pop at the same time. So make sure you're replacing your strings. I replace the strings every 10 shows just to keep everything fresh. So about once a week or every week and a half, I'm changing the strings on my guitar. I'm making sure the battery inside my guitar with my pickup is always changed. I'm making sure to clean all of the grime and dust off of my fretboards. I'm making sure to keep an eye on my frets to see if anything needs to be replaced. And I'm keeping my instrument shiny and keeping everything clean. And just that maintenance part is a huge part for making sure that your show sounds great and you look great and you sound great. Number 9, over-aggressive strumming. I was playing a song, Rock Around the Clock, and it was a really good vibe I had going on, but I found that my audience was dancing and I was playing harder, and the audience is singing loud and I'm playing a little bit harder. When you play a little bit harder, that almost takes away a little bit of the energy from the room. Don't over strum. Keep the same volume, keep the same energy in the song, and let the audience kind of overpower you if they're getting too excited. That's fine. If they can't hear the guitar, err on the side of a lower volume and just playing just calmly and smoothly, just like you normally practice and play. Don't try to strum too hard. And that could also lead to a pop string, which you definitely don't want to do in the middle of a song like Rock Around the Clock. Ask me how I know. Number 10 of the most common mistakes that I found that guitar players make is not combining strumming and finger picking. I always wear a thumb pick, and I finger pick and I also strum with it. And I found that adding a little bit of the variety with the songs when I'm choosing just to either strum chords or just throw in a little bit of finger picking, adding that little splash of variety really makes a big difference in adding some color and enrichment to your whole act. So try to include some slower, softer finger picking songs in addition to strumming the songs that you usually play. I hope that you were able to learn a little bit from this video, and I hope that you avoid a lot of the mistakes that I've always made in the past. Please keep shining your love and light on seniors and bring your music to them. Make everybody smile. Have an awesome time. I'll see you in the next video.